The next topic we're going to discuss on Boxing Bros. Woo-hoo-wee. Should Ryan's victory over Devin Haney be a no contest after Ryan Garcia failed his drug test? Now, he tested positive for Ostarine and some form of nandrolone or whatever. $1 bill. What is your reaction? And do you think that the fight should be turned to a no contest?
There's so much going on with this crap. I don't know where to begin. But let me just stick to the bouncing ball. If Ryan cheated, now this is if he really cheated, and there's no conspiracy with Ryan because it's weird how this testing thing went on. You know what I'm saying? Now, if Ryan cheated and Vada didn't, and Vada got this test back, and everybody knows that, everybody gets the results, and they let this fight going on without letting Devin know, Vada needs to be sued and the commission needs to be sued by Devin Haney and his team. Now, if they did know and they decided to go on with the fight, which has happened before. Y'all remember when Danny Garcia? I remember when Danny Garcia fought the great Eric Morales the second time. Eric Morales was on that juice. And Danny and his dad still decided to go in there and fight him. They got the opportunity not to fight him. But they took the bread and they said, we're going to fight him anyway. And spent him around with that left hook. You know what I'm saying? Go check the highlights out.
Mm-hmm.
And they won. Now, if it was one of those situations where they told him everything and he still decided, look, I can beat Ryan because he ain't nothing, then that's on him. But if none of that happened and Ryan cheated and these guys didn't inform Devin needs to sue Vada, he needs to sue the commission, and definitely Ryan that victory needs to be switched to a no contest if all that stuff was, like I said, he didn't have no information about him getting tested and being positive. And with all that and the cheating, I can see it being a no contest, But it all matters what they knows that situation. Yeah, that's how I feel.
All right. No, I agree with everything you said, but I'm just gonna narrow it down to my take on it based on the evidence. So based on the evidence, I don't feel like there is enough. There's insufficient evidence to prove that Ryan Garcia actually took PEDs to beat Devin Haney, and I'm going to explain to you why. And let me just explain to you why. First of all, Ryan took 4 tests that he posted, and he came out negative, which started in February, went through March, all the way up to April 3rd. So on April 3rd, Ryan Garcia tested clean, which means there's no trace of anything in his system. Now, this is the same organization that popped him after the fight, right? So you have to understand, if you're trusting their tests say from February 28th, I think it was, through April 3rd, this man tested clean. Nothing in his system. So now you're talking 2 weeks before a fight. You're telling me that he's going to decide to start taking Ostarine and anabolic steroid. So one, it wouldn't really make much sense from a cheater's perspective, because on the night of the fight, you're going to have to test before or after the fight. And these substances will not clear your system. They will not clear your system by the time you're going to fight. So if you are in fact cheating, which the evidence from VADA would show, from February 28th through April 3rd, he tested clean. So he wasn't cheating during that time. Remember, if you're going to rely on their tests, you have to rely on all their tests. So they're saying he didn't cheat during that time. So then they're saying there's a very tiny dosage. And someone said, oh, it's like a pregnancy test. Either you test positive for or you don't. That's cap. There is always a certain amount of whatever that's in your system, right? Because it's going to show. It's like if you smoke the joint today, it's going to be all up in your system. If you smoked it 3 weeks ago, like there is a process of it leaving your system. But anyways, the point is he tests positive on these tests. Everyone automatically runs to he cheats. He cheated. They act like there isn't a thing called contamination. There can be contamination at the lab. There can be contamination with food that people eat. Because again, why do you think go to your next time you go to your grocery store, when you grab some meat, read how it says no steroid, no antibiotics, no nothing. People forget that when they're eating meat, because I know like we live in America, it's so good. We don't have to like actually chop the head off an animal, cut it up, and then to get our meat, we can just go walk to this nice grocery store and here it is packaged up for us. We actually forget we're eating a chicken. We actually forget that we're eating a cow. We actually forget we're eating a living thing that they actually sometimes inject with steroids. Right? But when you buy your meat, it'll say it doesn't have any of this stuff. Right? Now, in the athletic world, people do take pre-workouts. People do take supplements. And these supplement companies aren't regulated by the FDA. So there's several supplements that people used to take and have been banned. If you watch the Boxing Bros, you know G's story about Jack 3D. He told his story about the first time he took Jack and what happened to him when he took Jack 3D. I'm not gonna get into it. You could, because I can't do it justice. It's much funnier when you hear G tell the story himself. But G actually took the original version of Jack 3D and it got banned. There was this other thing called T-bomb. People used to take this thing called T-bomb. T-bomb was testosterone bomb. The first version got banned. Then they banned the second version. Then they came out with T-bomb 3. They put things in. And so Roy Jones tested positive, was taking an over-the-counter supplement. Dillian White tested positive and said, I was taking Jack 3D, and they showed what he was taking was actually in Jack 3D. So with that being said, and I want to give a shout out to Showbiz the Adult. Showbiz actually put out a theory, which to me makes a lot of sense. If Ryan had this in his system within the last 2 weeks of him preparing for the fight, it was most likely because he was trying to make weight and he took a dietary supplement to help him lose weight, but not to enhance his performance against Devin. And if he took a dietary supplement, it may have had things in there that weren't listed on the bottle. This happens all the time in the supplement industry. That's how Jack 3D got banned. That's how T-bomb got banned. That's how some of these supplements get banned because they're not regulated. And then people start testing and they're like, oh my God, what is this? Right? So you have this situation where, so I do rock with Showbiz's theory. If anything, he took some supplement to try to help himself lose weight and it was contaminated. But there's also the possibility that the lab was contaminated. And you have to factor that in. So if someone didn't clean a station right, if someone didn't clean out the machine right, and there was still residue in that machine from another test prior, and you run it through, and now there's trace amounts of something, right? It could be contamination. But for you to just flat out say that Ryan cheated when you have lots of evidence that shows he was clean up until April 3rd. And then you also have to ask yourself, what performance enhancing drug can he take that is going to make him so great in 2 weeks? That's going to kick in 2 weeks. It's just crazy to me. So I have to give Ryan the benefit of the doubt. Now you say test the B sample. That's why test the B sample. Now let's wait to see what happens with the B sample. None of y'all even waited for the results on the B sample. You're already killing Ryan. You couldn't even wait. Dillian White got cleared on a B with his situation. They said Dillian White one of those times tested positive, and then they came back with contamination. Unfortunately, Dillian White is a bad example because he ended up tested positive again. But my point is that contamination does happen. It does happen. So, one, we got to wait for the result of the B sample. Then we get the result of the B sample. Now you have to move to proving that what you're saying was in his system increased his performance to the point where that's why he won. So for me, there's still a lot for me to wait and see. I'm sorry, bro. I just gotta
Nah, do your thing, man. Sure, I'm rocking with you, man. I know all too well about how the labs be messing up. Here we had a situation where one of my convictions almost got overturned because the lady was in the lab messing up. You know what I'm saying? So yeah,
I know exactly who you're talking about. There's a documentary about it on Netflix.
Yep, definitely.
Yep, exactly. So like people they just want to run with whatever narrative they want to run with. But again, clean on April 3rd, but decides to start taking PEDs, knowing that his fight is in 2 weeks. And the one test everyone knows they have to take is before or after the fight. So you mean right before the test he knows he has to take, that's when he's going to pop 30? Very sketchy to me. Also, the timing of Devin's interview is sketchy to me. Devin was radio silent until all this stuff came out, and then all of a sudden now these narratives and these agendas are being pushed. But I want to end with this, bro. Performance enhancing is performance enhancing. Devin drains himself to make weight to the point where he has to wear shades in the public because you can just see his eyes. You can see his skeleton through his eyes. That's how badly Devin drains himself. Regis Prograis said that he had a contract with Devin Haney that said he couldn't come in over a certain weight. And he said Devin came in over that certain weight anyway. Y'all don't care though. Regis said he also has reliable information that said Devin got an IV.
We seen it.
To help him with his dehydration from losing all that weight, and he wasn't supposed to, was in the contract. So get this straight. Devin got an IV and he came in overweight. None of you are upset about that. That is performance enhancing. But it's performance enhancement that you're okay with because it's your guy. It's the guy you like. It's still cheating. What would have happened if Devin actually followed the rules? Even Mauricio Suleiman called Devin out. He said, bro, he said your son put on 25 pounds in between the weigh-in and the day of the fight. And what was Bill Haney's response? Oh, you mean he was hydrated? That was Bill Haney. Look it up. So, bro, Regis puts that in. He ignores Regis's weight clause. And Regis said he has, and come on, bro. Like, I'm gonna tell you, if you asking me, do I believe Devin got an IV or did Ryan intentionally take PEDs to beat Devin? I believe Devin got an IV. I believe that. So you're okay with Devin ignoring? What'd you say, bro?
There's footage of Devin actually getting an IV.
No, there is. Well, there you go.
Footage of Devin
before the Regis fight.
Before the Regis fight.
So there you go. So you're okay with Devin getting an IV before the Regis fight. You're okay with Devin coming in overweight. You're okay with him giving Regis the beating of his life. But when the tables are turned, you mad. Miss me with all that, bro. Because at the end of the day, Devin could have said, no, I'm not fighting Ryan unless he weighs 141. He needs to lose 2 pounds or this fight is off. He chose to take the money. That's what y'all are missing. People not making weight it always happens in the sport. You decide whether you want money or you want to call up the fight or whether you want to make them struggle to make weight. Devin his ego was so big. He thought he was so much better than he was. He thought, oh, he can take whatever, do whatever, I'm going to beat him up. Anyway, until he was on his chest, face down, butt up. You can't unsee that. Should it be rated no contest? If, in fact, you have solid evidence that shows that Ryan Garcia's performance was based, like the sole result for Ryan Garcia beating Devin Haney was this trace amount of whatever you found in his system that didn't exist on April 3rd. And again, how would it clear his system that fast when we all know it takes a lot longer? Unless you have actual evidence to show that, then no, it shouldn't be changed to a no contest. And even if it is changed to a no contest, we will never unsee Devin getting his A whoop. You will never undo the damage that was done and Haney got exposed, bro. I guarantee you this, and we move on to the next topic, but I guarantee you this, because this is leading into the next topic. You will never see Devin Haney step into the ring with a serious puncher within the next 2 years. He's never fighting punches in the next 2 years. I guarantee you that.
And it's true what you say, what we say here in Boxing Bros. It's not who's right, it's who's liked. You know what I'm saying? Let us know how you feel in the comment section. Please like and subscribe. Check us out on Instagram and Twitter. And please check out our podcast on all major streaming services. You know it's G forever. And we the Boxing Bros.